it's funny. Like Dan kind of like put me in my place when I was really kind of talking about um, the Euro E36 M3, and he was just, I go on this long rant, and he's just like, "Yep, that's exactly how I feel about the E30 M3." I was like, So I mean, it's a fair point, though. It's a very fair point, and you can always make the argument that, and we have made the argument that a properly equipped E30 325 IS can get the job done. Does the M20 cut the cheese, cut the mustard, as they say? Maybe, maybe not. But with S50s and S52s being so prevalent, even M50s, right, and M52s, just a 24 valve swap, being so prevalent and out there, I'm not going to call it plug and play, but it's most certainly, within the realm,
it's
all in.
it's
How
pretty much
much
plug
are
and
you
play
all
now.
in? Huh?
It's pretty much plug and play now.
Yeah, I mean, how
You
much
can
are
buy
you all
everything
in?
you need
You
off
could
the
probably
shelf.
go car, engine, trans, swap, supporting, everything for what? 15 maybe? If you do the work yourself, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And that's the going rate for a decent driver E36 M3. So yeah, I think that there's something to be said for an E36 M3. I'm sorry, an E30 325 IS that you can handily outrun an E30 M3 and still get down with it in the corners. And are you missing the box fenders and the wing and a couple little tidbits here and there, and of course the prestige? Sure, but at the end of the day, nobody's checking for that when you're getting it on the back roads.
Yeah, when you're holding on for dear life to that back bumper.
I got
that only counts on the lawn at Amelia Island, or trying to get into the foundation, or separate parking, or maybe in the hotel at the Clarion. It doesn't really count anywhere else.
I think you're belittling it, King. The deal is this, right? When it comes to any of these cars, this is why the Wolf now has an E28 M5, because something is either it or it is not it, right? Now, E30 325 IS is a great car, and that's why you don't feel bad about dropping an S50, S52, M50, S54 in the car, right? You don't feel like you're going against purest nature. Now, as I've said in previous podcasts, I'd love to have, if I was going to have an E30 M3, I'd love to have an S50, S52, S54, E30 M3. But you either have an M3 or you don't. And that's more the case. Hear me out here. That's more the case when you're in an E30 M3 than in almost any other generation. An E30, I got an E36 M3 and an E36 325 IS sitting in the garage right now, and you can make those cars look indiscernible from each other with very few mods. Not the case with an E30 M3. And whether we like it or not, whether you like it or not, Trey, it doesn't bother me. But whether you like it or not, an E30 325 IS is not an M3, and it won't be, even if it's faster, even if it's lower, even if it's got a better suspension, right? Because an E30 M3 comes with a 4-cylinder engine in the first place.
I'll go you one further. 325 IS is only a trim level, just like the 535 IS. Those guys want to tout, okay, it's an IS, it's special. I'm like, it's a real IS. I'm like, great, good for you. It's trim level.
Yeah, you got sports seats from the factory, and everyone in America put sports seats in, and when they got their 325i.
There you go.
Anyway, right?
Well,
and also,
hang on. The point being is this. It goes back, gosh, where were we talking? Just in the chat when we were talking, driving experience, right? What I'm saying is an E30. That's why I said it counts on the field at Amelia. It counts on the, in the parking lot at the Clarion when people are coming to look at cars. It counts when you pull in. It counts where you park. It counts when you are, you're making your insurance, claims / adjustments. And what's the word I'm looking for when you tell them evaluation. It counts then, right? But when we're on the back roads going from our mansion to Hot Springs, is the guy getting out an E30 M3 saying I got a $40,000 better experience than the guy who's getting out of Madeline? Yes or no, Brooklyn?
We're not talking about the dollars, and this is why I say that, right? If you were to drive a 325 IS and an E30 M3 back to back, right? Let's say you had $30,000 in each, whatever, right? Not even. We're not talking about money. What I'm saying is the E30 M3 is not the same car. We've all watched videos on this recently. They took a 325, they took an E30 325, they stripped everything, and all the body panels are different for a reason. All the suspension is different for a reason. They won 5,386 races with this car that they homologated to sell. It's not the same, King. It's not the same experience. It would fucking whoop your ass on the Twisties because it's made to.
The cap.
It's
I'm
literally
definitely
made
stop
to.
the cap.
I'm not
definitely
capping,
putting stop the cap.
They didn't win those 5,000 races with 325 ISs. They won them with E30 M3s because it's a different car. If you don't want to buy one, that's fine, but it's not the same as a 325. Even a trick 325, even our friends' great 325s. It's not the same car.
Dude, you've driven an E30 M3. You've driven a modded E30 325. Let's just call it a 325i. Now, stock for stock, do I think an E30 M3 is a different experience? Yes, but we are 35 years past when the last E30 rolled off the delivery line. There's not an E30 M3 or otherwise, okay, that has not been at the very least upgraded with maybe Bill Stein's better tires, maybe a better steering rack, something, even a K&N drop-in intake filter to make it just a hair more enjoyable and engaging. My point being is this is what I'm saying. You're missing my point. I'm not talking about what the development and the engineering. There we go to vintage and there's 400 of the 500 cars there are E30s. That's for a reason. Okay, these cars are lowered. These cars have bigger wheels and tires. These cars have taut suspension. These cars have performance upgrades. These cars are chipped. These cars are tuned. These cars have the driver comforts that they need to have. Some of them are engine swapped. And these cars are tearing up the back roads and the drivers are well satisfied. Yeah, I'm not saying this about an E32, right? I'm not saying this about an E34 wagon. I'm saying this about an E30 that is a well-tuned car for what you can do to it 35 years after it rolled off of the manufacturing. The E30 M3 and the 325i, as we can get them today, are very comparable in driving experience. No, the 325i does not have 5,378 championships. The E30 M3 was specifically designed for DTM.
It's a race car.
Yeah, it's a race car, right? And they had to homologate it, right? That's fine. But what I'm getting at,
I love when words that we say every episode kick your ass.
Right.
I'm trying to live by Wolf's rules, but I cannot.
Yeah,
I cannot. This is America.
Yes.
So look, here's the thing. Everything you're saying would be, wait, where's my camera? I gotta learn. I keep looking at you and I have to look at the camera. I have to be show ready for when Spotify gives us our 100 million. This is what I'm saying, America and Abu Dhabi and Japan and Deutschland and everywhere that listens to us. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what King Dre has been describing to you makes perfect sense if we are talking about the US E36 325i, 325is, and the US M3, it makes perfect sense that you can mod it up and then save yourself a couple $1,000 or a lot of money, right? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the fact that the E30 M3 and the E30 325i/IS, because as Wolf said, it's a trim level. Those are different cars. You know, at this point, almost every one of our friends has E30s, right? Almost everybody in the squad. Well, actually, who in the squad doesn't have an E30? Me and Dre.
Now, you have an E30. You have an E30 long enough to count as ownership.
What E30 do I have, Dre?
Side chick?
Oh, okay.
Listen, I get that you have these first world problems, that you have to buy the little first grade little key fobs, key things that you got to write on there, like number one, and you got to match it.
Well, okay, I have custody of an E30. I've not acquired my own.
Yeah,
E30.
the police pull up and say, "But owner of the motherfucking E30, get the fuck out of the car." You're not gonna be like, "I have custody." You're gonna get out the car. You're gonna get out the car. So
I drove it today and I was still like, what? It's no, dude. I would have passed the lie detector test saying I don't have an E30 just now. I was like, what is he talking about? But my point is, wait, does that make me the only person in the squad without an E30 at their house?
No, that makes me the only person with not an E30 at the house.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. So, because now I can't tell the difference between you and me. I don't know if Frankie is at Judge's. If Frankie probably is at Judge's house.
Listen,
that's amazing.
That's like what's the name of that guy that had the show? And the name of the show is It's All in the Family, right? You know, all in the family. You know,
facts. Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker. It's Archie Bunker effect. It's all in the family.